Now, the Knights wouldn't be where they are if it weren't for three boys who moved to Fresno on the first day of school.
KMPH News anchor Jessob Reisbeck introduces us to a story about way more than just basketball. We've all been waiting to hear this. I love this family story.
I know, and I've been very excited to let you all see it. KMPH got access to this family like no one has before, and I think we're all excited to see it. It's about that time. The Armstead brothers landed in Fresno the day classes began, not knowing a single person on campus except one another. But hey, basketball and brotherhood were enough to get by in one of the most dangerous parts of the country. Surely it was enough at Bullard.
Aaric Armstead, senior, Bullard High School, the best thing yet.
Armstead, junior, Bullard High School, future of basketball.
Austin Armstead, freshman at Bullard High, next big thing.
These are the Armstead brothers, freshman Austin, junior Adam, and senior Aaric. Born and raised in the south side of Chicago, now residing in Fresno, three of the best high school basketball players the area has ever seen.
You go around Fresno, there's the Armsteads, or aren't you the kids from Chicago if they don't know our name?
But it's real hard, like coming from a whole other state, you know? But I think I'm adapting pretty good now.
It's a lot different from Chicago, but I'm just trying to make the best out of the situation. You know, life moves on, something goes wrong, you just gotta get through it.
The Armsteads know a thing or two about getting through tough times. Growing up in Jeffrey Manor on the south side of Chicago is not easy or safe. All have lost friends and loved ones to the streets. Aaric, as many as 3.
I started realizing, like, look, people are dying. People close to me are dying, so, you know, I could be next, and I don't want that to be the situation.
In Chicago, you have to expect, like, the worst, but hope for the best.
News came on, saw his name up there, picture, and they said he got shot and killed. My dad saw it, too. That's when he really started to want to get out of Chicago.
South side of Chicago, you always have to watch your back.
Yeah, you know it's going to end up in the hoop.
Phil Armstead is the boy's father. He moved him to Fresno to give him a better, safer life.
For someone to sit up on your couch and then Aaric's with them 15 minutes before she gets shot, you know, it can really, you know, get to you.
People talk about how good of kids we are.
That was you.
And how great basketball players we are. That's all my dad in the background.
You just make sure you keep them close. Sometimes people are like, oh, he's always around his kids. Well, yeah, you put out the rules for them, you know, basic things like no standing on the corner for nothing.
The rules are less strict since the move to Fresno, and the family's minds can focus on the basketball court instead of the streets. All 3 brothers play on Bullard's varsity squad, making it one of the best in California.
Us 3 playing on the same team, it's amazing.
I heard a rumor that they were coming, and then, you know, I hear rumors all the time. All of a sudden, I get a phone call from my athletic director and say that, you know, that the kids are on campus and they're enrolling right now, and I went, okay, you know, my first thought, okay, what are they going to be like? Because I've heard that they're pretty good players. Are they going to have the prima donna attitude? And they don't. And it's been a huge gift.
But with the gift came questions. Was this all legal? Were they recruited? Why was Bullard the lucky recipient?
It doesn't even faze me. People are going to say what they want to say. You know, we know the truth here, and we know how things went down, and so I just brush it right off.
The Armsteads picked Bullard for a couple of reasons. They are a championship program, and the type of ball they play is similar to the boys' old high school, Hales Franciscan. Who's got the best jump shot?
I do. Yeah.
Best off the dribble?
I am.
Who's the best pure scorer?
I am.
He could take all of those for now. For now.
Who's the best down low?
Oh, that would be me, of course.
Who's the best outside?
I am.
He could take that for now.
Who's got the most ups?
I do.
Well, yeah, until my senior year.
So for now, Aaric is the best Knight, but they all are Division I prospects with NBA dreams that share admiration for one another.
He always has his dreams of going to like these big schools. You know, he wants to go to Kentucky and everything. He says, "Oh, I'm going out of high school," even though you can't. You know, that's how good he is. That's how good he believes he is. And if he has that much confidence, if he wants to push himself to do things like that in his life, then I think he should go ahead and do it.
Adam, what do you think about older brother?
He's definitely an NBA prospect, definitely.
Whether he or any of them make it is not what's most important to this family. Austin may be the youngest, but he sums up their story and what brotherhood is all about.
It's been a lot of Austin, Aaric, and Adam, but when it comes down to it, it's Armstead. Like when it's said and done, it's going to be Armstead.
Well, if you can believe it, there's a fourth Armstead. Well, no shocker, he's a basketball talent as well. Aaron Armstead is a freshman guard on the University of Wisconsin at Green Bay basketball team. 4 Armsteads, 4 Division I athletes, 4 solid dudes. So, and you probably want to know, what are these 3 going to maybe go up to in college? Well, Aaric Armstead, the senior, he's got an offer on the table from Hawaii. Hasn't committed yet. He is interested in Hawaii, but he wants to keep his options open right now. Adam, the junior, he's got interest from several colleges, but he's still got a while. He hasn't committed to anyone yet. And then obviously freshman Austin, he's the youngest. He's got a year, 2 years to really bring in all the interest from colleges, and who knows, he may get the most interest the way he's going. He's going to be on varsity for 4 years and stuff like that. So all 3 of them bright futures.
Little bit of brotherly rivalry there too.
Hey, you got to. You got to.
Yeah. But the oldest one seems to be the best at everything.
That's what he says.
As of right now.
So what about, of course, the obvious question, Fresno State, are they in the mix with these kids?
Yeah, I asked all 3 of them the same question. What about Fresno State? They all would consider Fresno State. They all would be interested in Fresno State if an offer were to be handed out. Fresno State has not offered yet. I know for a fact there is interest, but there is no offer, and Fresno State at this point can't comment on them because they're still recruits. So we'll see what happens.
And speaking of their being in the Valley, you explained earlier there's a little bit of a family connection that brings them here.
Yeah, the reason they obviously got out of the south side of Chicago was because of the immense danger that these kids are under on a daily basis almost. But the reason Fresno was kind of the final destination was because you guys know Dominic Young. He went to Fresno State. He still lives in Fresno. Phil Armstead, the boy's father, was kind of his father figure growing up in the streets of Chicago. So he had that tie, and then Phil's sister, the boy's aunt, moved out here with her 2 boys to get them away from Chicago a couple months before the Armsteads moved out, the boys. So then Phil saw his sister out here and Dominic and people that he knew, so it fit, and then he looked up, found Bullard High School was a contender, and it just worked out well.
We're glad to have them. I'm sure you'll be keeping a close eye on them.
Absolutely. Awesome guys.
Great story. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you. Appreciate it.